and it's preparing. Well, this was what we anticipated, that the dial pad room would totally fail, and it did. Not the first time. And here we are, over here. Dismiss. There we go. I don't see enough light. Let's put more light in the room. That's still not enough light. Put it over there like that. And okay, it's lagging behind me. And we're trying to get enough light in the room here. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Not quite. Still not enough light in the room. So I need to adjust the camera down a little bit. Oops. Live stream, got it. That's good. And I'm trying to get the camera adjusted. That's good. Okay. All right. And that up there. Click on this, and we're going to share the screen. And it appears this, my other screen, has gone blank on me. I could see some stuff down on the bottom of it, but it's nothing on up on the top. That's interesting. So my monitor is blank. We're in the room with Virtue and Angela. I can see that. Okay. And I'm here. Let's might as well bring. And Gary, can you hear me? I can't hear anyone in the room. And so I'm going to call Gary.
I can hear you, Dr. Truman.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. Then if you can hear me, Gary should be able to hear me as well. And Gary, can you hear me? No, Gary can't hear me. And I am going to give Gary a call on the phone. And raise the volume up here.
Okay, I can hear you. For some reason, you're not able to hear me.
You can hear me now? Okay, I hear you. I hear you now.
I heard you then.
Okay, all right.
I'm not sure why you can't hear me.
Okay, and I will hang up. I will hang up the phone then. Okay, I'm hanging up the telephone call, and we're gonna put this over there. That's fine. Now we've got that screen. Just we need it, and we can.
Can you hear me now?
And I hear you there. And
okay.
We can go over to view. We're going to open with send cut. I'm looking for maybe properties. No, that's not it. I want to view, and there we go. We got rid of the desktop items on the screen, and I can see the screen and I can see you. So that's working, and you can see me. So that's working, and I see Prophet Elijah out there in Pike Road, Alabama, at the Word of Life Ministry. So that's working. Let me just adjust the light just a little bit more, as it looks like I need more light in this direction. Okay, let's see if that will put more light in this direction. I think so. That's a little bit more light. And let's get over to Prophet Elijah and get an opening prayer. Prophet Elijah, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Thank you very much. Could you, let's give out your telephone number. The telephone number for Prophet Elijah is 334-868-3881. That's 334-868-3881. And my telephone number is 503-362-5899. My email address is truman@herbalhealthreview.com. That's truman@herbalhealthreview.com, just like the website herbalhealthreview.com. Now let's get to that opening prayer, and then we'll ask for anyone to, if they've got any questions, topics, or suggestions that they'd like us to talk about. We're here to do that. So let's go for that opening prayer. And please remember, Prophet Elijah will be with us along the way. And at the end of the broadcast, he will give us a closing prayer. Prophet Elijah, thank you for being here. And please give us that opening prayer.
Yes, Revelation chapter 18, verse 4 through 5. Then I heard another voice from heaven saying, "My people, come out from her so that you don't participate in her sins and have no share in her plagues, because her sins are heaped as high as heaven, and God has remembered her vileness." Father, today, Dr. Burris and our prophet Elijah bring before the throne a repentance prayer. We cover Discoverers in Health, Good Shepherd Ministries, Better Health Herbs, and Word of Life Ministries, including all who are listening today. Heavenly Father, we come to ask for forgiveness and seek your direction and guidance. We know your word says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil," but that's exactly what we have done. We have lost our spiritual equilibrium and inverted our values. There are distractions all around us. We confess that many of us have ridiculed the absolute truth of your word and worship other gods. We have endorsed perversion and called it alternative lifestyle. We have exploited the poor and called it the lottery. We have neglected the needy and called it self-preservation. We have rewarded laziness and called it welfare. We have killed our unborn and called it choice. We have shot abortionists and called it justifiable. We have neglected to discipline our children and called it building self-esteem. Some of us have abused power and called it political savvy. We have coveted our neighbor's possession and called it ambition. We have polluted the air with profanity and pornography and called it freedom of expression. We have ridiculed the time-honored values and called it enlightenment. Search us, O God, and know our heart today. Try us and see if there be some wicked way in us. Cleanse us from every sin and set us free according to your will. So be it.
So be it. All praises to the Most High. In Yeshua's name, Jesus Christ's name, our Savior. All praises to the Most High God. So be it.
All praise. All praise.
So, Prophet Elijah, my dear friend, and thank you again for joining us and sharing with us and your guidance. Thank you so much. And what is on your mind today, sir?
What's on my mind today is something that we all should be thinking about. Sickness is of the devil. The Most High God wants you well. Should you have the expectancy of a child to be healed from all infirmities? Healing is available to all during the kingdom age. It is amazing that some still believe that God put sickness on his people. Some of you ask, God, why do you allow this sickness to come upon my body? You feel or may have been told by a church leader that it is the will of God for you to suffer sickness and not be healed as a punishment. However, this is not biblical, nor is it true. He does not put sickness on his people, especially those who love. However, he does allow what you allow. And behold, a woman who was diseased with an issue of blood for 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment. Recently, the Most High God had impressed me to share with his people the importance of the anointing for healing. Just a few days ago, I was led by the Spirit to call someone who I purchased goat's milk from. We had not talked to each other in a while. The conversation started on health issues. She had fallen in the bathroom and fell on the tub, injuring her ribs. She was taken to the hospital and in great pain. Upon arrival, she was told by a doctor that she had a heart attack and needed emergency surgery. All the time, her ribs were aching badly. The doctor repeated, "You need surgery now." She said that she felt fine concerning her heart. He said that he needed to speak to someone in the family other than her. At this point, she gave him her daughter's number. She and the mother's husband were in the waiting room. At this time, the doctor left the room so that the woman could not hear his conversation with the daughter. He told the daughter that the mother needed emergency surgery now concerning her heart. The daughter thinks the mother is dying by the conversation, and the doctor, she said, she could not give him permission, that she had to talk with the mother first, and if she was coherent, she could make her own decision. At this point, the doctor hung up without saying another word. She eventually had surgery done to her later and found out that there was nothing wrong with her heart accidentally from a nurse who told her that her heart was fine. Then the nurse attempted to recant what she said. Too late. I will quote to you what she said about the doctor. He is a sorry excuse of a human being who many put their trust in. Too often people do not receive miracles and healing because they do not place a demand on the anointing that is available. They don't push forward because they don't expect something miraculous will happen. Many believe that God is the author of sickness and disease when it's actually Satan himself. Sometimes even believers let themselves get discouraged. Let me tell you this, don't let the devil talk you out of your healing. Jesus would not have healed anyone of sickness if it came from his Father. That is like saying, I rebuke you, Most High God. You are told in many cases, sickness unto death do you part. Where it is said in Scripture, you shall die at a ripe old age, bearing fruit, having all good things, full of vitality, strength, your eyes shall not go dim, your youth shall be like that of an eagle. I could go on and on. By now, you should have a mental picture of what health should be. By putting your mind on whatever is good and loving, you have to press through discouragement and frustration so that you don't miss your miracle. Don't let anyone stop you. Stay in the spirit and get to the place where the anointing is and reach for your miracle. Just like the woman who pressed forward and was healed by touching Jesus' garment, you can take authority for your healing. Sickness can constantly affect your thoughts and fears about sickness and disease. Your belief in generational illnesses that runs in the family. Your vain imagination of what the doctors, family, neighbors, and television commercials have said. Your pity party with people who you associate with that has the same affliction. Now, do you realize how illness can negatively affect your health? Jesus died so that we might be healed. For his people, we can't expect to live in health and be healed at all of all diseases because that is our inheritance. It is part of salvation and restoration of all things, including prosperity. Now, the name of Jesus and the word heal all manner of sickness. Sickness and disease are the worst things that can happen to an individual. It can be miserable and unbearable, not only for the person having the sickness, but also for the caretaker. Think about the burden that they are faced with daily. Many think it is their responsibility to care for someone who choose to let their health cause them to become disabled and dependent upon someone else for their daily needs. This began to break down the immunity of the person caring for the individual. I assure you most solemnly, I tell you, when you was young, you dressed yourself, put on your own belt and girdle, and you walked about wherever you pleased to go. But when you grow old, you should stretch out your hand, and someone else will put a girdle around you and carry you where you do not wish to go. John 21:18. Man-made religion laws and stale traditions in the old covenant were put away. The new and better covenant came into being, just like Jesus had great compassion on the people who came to him to be healed. I have the same compassion for you. If not greater compassion, I care very deeply that you are hurting and suffering with sickness, ailments, illness, dysfunctions, and disease. I prophesy to anyone who is plagued with generational demons of infirmity, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, certain heart conditions, any disease of cancer, stroke, back pain, eye problem, knee swelling, arthritis, clogged arteries, high and low blood pressure, addiction of any sort, dysfunction, curses, any spirit of infirmity, any generational curse that are activating sickness in your body right now. You can tell the devil that he will put sickness in your body. Tell him, I don't care if your mother, grandmother, or great-grandmother had this disease. The curse stops here. I break it in the name of Jesus and begin to rise up and use your authority. The Most High God does not change. There is no shadow of turning with him. Because of his faithfulness, you can trust that if he healed then, he will heal today. Start using that innate ability that was given to you to diagnose your own healing. There will come a time when you will not be allowed to go to the doctor or purchase medicine. The cost will be so high that those who are still participating and practicing will choose who will live and who will die. Getting in tune with yourself and nature, using herbal remedies, herbal teas, and tinctures such as the one from our own master herbalist, Dr. Truman, is a great place for you to start. So be it. What about that, Dr. Burris?
All praises to the Most High. So be it. Thank you so much, Prophet Elijah. Thank you so much. And folks, remember, Prophet Elijah will be giving us a closing prayer and comments along the way, as well as you all are welcome to make comments along the way. There must be a chat box or something here on YouTube that I can access. I'm just not familiar with it. Maybe Gary can help me with that, because if there is a chat box that I can open on Zoom or YouTube on the side panel, I'd love to hear from you. Angela, if you have a question, a topic, or anything that you would like to learn today, if there's some way that let's unmute your microphone, and let's, because it is muted, and I'm going to unmute your microphone. Well, I'm clicking on it. I'm going to ask to unmute your microphone. If you'd like to, then you can, there it is. You can ask any question and we'll talk about any subject. Could you share that with us, please?
Well, there is a question I have about like a kit for Candida. I think it's Albica, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
I was
Candida
wondering if,
albicans.
yeah, is there a kit? I know you talked about Candida like 2 weeks ago. So I was wondering, is there a kit for that one? I know you talked about the natural antibiotics and so forth, but I just was interested in a kit. So
You know,
that's
I will talk to the folks over there at Health and Herbs to see if there is a kit. And by the way, I do want to make sure that everyone knows I don't sell products. I don't get anything from the sale of any of the products I've invented. So just letting you know that I'm not here selling products. I'm here answering questions and helping people, and that's what this is all about. This is a discussion, and I'm going to find out if there is a Candida kit or if they can make one for you, and I will get back with you on that. And I would like you to email me at Truman at herbalhealthreview.com. That's Truman, Truman, at herbalhealthreview.com. You can email me or you can call me. My telephone number is 503-362-5899. And even though I may not answer the phone, I capture every telephone that calls me, even if they hang up before they say anything. I still have the number, and I'm trying to get all of my calls and stay up with them. Very difficult because I do get a lot of calls, but you can call me or email me, and I will be glad to make sure that you find out whether we have a Candida kit or if, and here's what a Candida kit would look like. Let's come over here, and looks like we got something open there. Okay, let's get over here. It seems like all of a sudden I have a frame around my main monitor screen, and I cannot access any of the tabs on my computer. All of a
You
sudden,
should be able to access them now, Grandpa. I was trying to click on it for you through the team viewer to get to the YouTube thing to show you how to do the chat real fast, but
yeah.
is it still not letting you?
Yeah, I'm not able to access any of the tabs to go into herbalhealthreview.com in order to open up that up. Maybe I can pull it. I don't know. I can't. It's not. It's got the personal meeting room over the top. It's framed over the top, and I can't access the tabs. So I'm trying to figure out how to get back out of there so that I can.
But will you drag the internet to your other screen real quick?
Okay, maybe you can get my tabs back. Maybe I can. No, I can't do that either. So unmute. No.
I think Zoom is your whole screen. I think you're seeing your screen capture, not your actual screen.
Looks like something did. I can't. Kind of a new wrinkle every day. So if I could just get to it, let's see if I can.
Hold on, I'm going to try something real fast.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, see if you can move it now.
All right, let's see if I. Don't see anywhere to move it. It's not letting me to click on it. No. Wow.
Um,
Well, folks, it's always interesting things. We always have something new and different to learn about these, the technology producing this broadcast. And I think we're there now. I hope I saw it for a minute and then it came back. As soon as I tried to get over to it, it wouldn't do it. Okay, now, oh, that'll get me in. That would seem to work. And
go ahead and move this window over to your other screen.
okay, I'm going to move this over on the top here, and that should do it. And I believe it will. And here we go. H.
Okay.
And
Okay,
it's working, folks.
And then give me 1 second. I'm going to bring up YouTube on this other one real fast.
Okay. All right.
I was talking to YouTube for you, but if you can, then that'd be cool.
I hope the folks on dial pad meetings was able to move over to Zoom.
So I don't know why, but it's asking if it wants your verification from your phone.
Exactly.
I'll go ahead and do YouTube for this, and then I'll show you how to do it. But go ahead and
Okay.
continue with your broadcast. We're well into it, so that we better get on with it. But yeah, go ahead and use Firefox for now.
Firefox. So I should go ahead and open up Firefox.
It's already there. Just go. That's the window that's open.
Oh, okay. And that's this one over here on my main computer. Okay, I'm going to go over there and tell it to we accept we accept all the cookies. All right, that'll let us in. And then we'll come over here and I will log in. And it doesn't, there we go. Let me see who I am now. And we're getting logged in over on herbalhealthreview.com. We are there. And
You close that team viewer window.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Will you close the team viewer window thing?
I'm sorry, what window do you want me to close?
The team viewer little window that's open on your screen.
Okay, I'm going to close that. We'll move it. I can move it over here to the other window. How's that?
All right, there you go.
Okay. Did you want me to go ahead and do the two-step verification?
If you want to, but we don't need to worry about it right now. We're well into the meeting, so we should probably go ahead and just get on with it.
Okay. All right. We can do that as well. So we'll just forget about that and come over to the room and click on common conditions. And I can't see any of the people in the YouTube room anymore. I no longer have that panel on my side panel. And that's still over there, and it's just took over that screen. Interesting. Okay. And oh, I don't want that. I'm going to go ahead and close it. I do want this. I'm going to bring it over there. And we are in common conditions.
Hey, go ahead and maximize that window. Oh, you
And
did. Okay, cool.
And I did. And so now, and we're coming down here. We are looking at Candida albicans, and we're not prescribing, we're not diagnosing, we never do that. What we're doing is discussing natural remedies. And this is a discussion. And the question was, is there a kit available for Candida albicans? And I'm going to find out if there is a kit. And in the meantime, I'm going to look at Candida albicans, the report, and share that information with you. And one of the main things for Candida albicans is colloidal silver water. And let's explain what Candida albicans is. It's a tiny single-celled organism. Candida albicans can cause some big problems for being a tiny single-celled organism. This fungus exists normally and harmlessly in the eyes, mouth, intestines, and genitals, unless an overgrowth occurs. And that's what happens. Is this, it's just supposed to be there, it's in there keeping things in balance. And then an overgrowth of these cells occurs. And that's toppling the body's normal balance of microorganisms. The resultant infections, which can include oral thrush, and babies get this oral thrush very often. You're going to have mom be calling me up and say, what can I do for oral thrush on my baby? And then it causes diaper rash on babies. And in women, it causes vaginal yeast infections. And it can be uncomfortable and unpleasant. Alarmingly, Candida infections, medically known as candidiasis, or candidiasis, but it's candidiasis, candidiasis. And this candidiasis, it's becoming increasingly resistant to conventional drugs, which is one of the things that I was, alarming people about, is that 60 years ago when I started describing this, I knew because the Most High tells me these things and gives me this knowledge. And the knowledge I knew was that the drugs that they're using against everything, they were using the antibiotics for everything when they first came out. And what it caused was a resistance to antibiotics. The funguses, bacteria, and viruses got stronger and became drug resistant. MDR, medical drug resistance. What they did with their drug antibiotics, they made the bacteria, the funguses, the viruses stronger and stronger and stronger. Pretty soon, their antibiotics didn't work anymore at all. And then you go to the doctor with an infection and he'd say, well, we don't have anything for that anymore. Or the only thing we have will kill you, called prednisone. Will eat you alive, but it will, it'll fight the infection. And so they give it to you. A drug that'll eat you alive because they created bacteria, funguses, and viruses to be so powerful, nothing they could come up with would work. And then worse, anything the medical system, the pharmaceutical system can't give you something for, although they don't have any cures. They just have a drug that may help and may kill you, may harm you, and may have a ton of risks. And many doctors, they're not really up with it, and they prescribe these drugs that will harm you until there's nothing at all that they can give you. Then they tell you there's nothing you can do. It's a lie, or they are ignorant. Now, many doctors are very good people, but we have some evil doctors, just like we have some evil herbalists, I'm sure. I've met a few myself. But the thing about this is, they create bacteria, fungus, and viruses that will now kill you, and they got nothing for it. And the fact is, the natural antibiotics are better and don't cause MDR, medical drug resistance. They don't cause that. If I have somebody who needs an antibiotic, I use an herb that is an antibiotic that has no side effects, like golden seal. Golden seal is one of the greatest infectious fighters. And when you combine golden seal with echinacea, wow, you got a powerhouse of infection fighters. Then if you use a tiny amount of poke root, because poke root is poisonous if you use a lot of it. And so are their drugs. If you use a lot of the drugs, they'll kill you, make you sick faster, kill you faster. But golden seal and echinacea have never had that problem, and they are great natural antibiotics. And when you add a little bit of poke root, that works on the lymphatic system. And if you add a little dash of cayenne, it stimulates all of those herbs to go to work. And it dilates and opens up all the cells. So all the golden seal, echinacea, poke root, and cayenne can get into the cells and get rid of the infection. Works great. Used it over and over and over again. It's called number 1018, antibio. AUNTIEBIO. It's had a lot of names, because every few years the FDA comes by and says, oh, you can't say that. People figure out what it's good for, and they change the name. That one's had many names. I have developed formulations that have no name. All it has is a number, because they wouldn't let you name it. There was no name that was suitable. For instance, the cancer formula, number 1084, that I invented, it used to be called cancer formula. They said, oh, you can't say that. So I changed it to say CF. Oh, no, they'll figure out what it means. You can't say that. You can't say CF. So cancer formula wound up with no name, just number 1084. But that's all right. There's a lot of people that have found it. A lot of people who don't have stage 4 cancer anymore, because they found number 1084 up on that.
Grandpa.
website. Yes, go ahead.
Speaking of these secret names, I think the one that upsets me the most right now is that the new one they came up with for aspartame is amino sweet.
Amino
so they're
sweet.
making this.
Yeah.
So they're making this fake sweetener called aspartame that they're making it sound like it's a natural chemical, calling it amino sweet, like it's a protein or something.
Right. Or like it's a natural amino, it's a natural food, it's safe. And they
Right.
lie because that stuff will harm you and they know it. And the fact, and that's what they do. You get people out there that are just out there making money. They do not care. They're so much like the pharmaceutical industry. It's all profit driven, period.
Right.
That's it. Doesn't matter who it harms, whatever it is, give it a new name. If it's killing people, give it a new name so they don't know about the old name that was killing people. The new name, then we'll change it again every 3 months or whatever it is, or and then they're betting. They're betting that they make millions of dollars and are only fined thousands of dollars, or maybe
Right.
maybe they make 100 million and it costs them and they get fined $1 million. I don't think they care because that's what they're doing. They do it over and over and over again. Yes, we have a lot of that fake sweeteners, and really you just need to find out about the safe sweeteners, like stevia and xylitol. Xylitol is now,
Erythritol.
yeah, xylitol used to be made from corn cobs, and now they even improved that. Now we have xylitol that's from birchwood. Fantastic.
Yep.
Looks like sweet. It looks like sugar. Tastes like sugar. No sugar. Xylitol.
Exactly. There's also like erythritol. There's beet sugar. There's quite a few alternatives that people don't realize other than honey.
Yes. So
yeah, sorry, I didn't want to get you off the subject. I just wanted to throw that in there just to give an example of one of one of these names that they're changing things to.
Right, and that's the thing, folks. So we want you to chime in. We want you to. This is not a lecture. This is me sharing information, sharing reports and research about natural remedies that may help you, may help somebody you love, and that's what's important. And I'm getting a lot of feedback. It's working. A lot of people are being helped with these broadcasts, which makes us want to continue doing them and continue the long hours and the hard work of making sure you get this information. Colloidal silver water is one of the greatest things that you can use as a natural antibiotic. It's the safest natural antibiotic on the planet. So we're talking about invasive, threatening candidiasis that is a fungus that's making its way into the bloodstream, which and that's Candida. It's making its way into the bloodstream. It's a rare but life-threatening condition known as invasive candidiasis. And the outcome can be fatal. What causes Candida? Anything that disturbs the normal balance of microorganisms can put you at risk for Candida overgrowth. The use of antibiotics and steroids, emotional stress, and the environmental factors are common causes. Being overweight also increases the susceptibility to Candida albicans. But the primary cause of Candida seems to be a weakened immune system. Once that, if it can, let's say you're eating way too much sugar in your diet, and maybe you're not having a perfect diet anyway. Maybe you're eating too much meat and not enough vegetables, and not enough fruit, but you love candy bars, that kind of thing. Those are the kind of people that that get the worst cases of Candida albicans, which can kill you. Because it seems to be a weakened immune system that it attacks because they're not getting enough sleep. Maybe they got too much alcohol. Maybe they got too much stress. Maybe they got too much of all of that. These things drag you down, and then if you are not taking care of the temple of God, the temple of God needs care. People care for their animals, their dogs, their cats, but they don't care for themselves. They just eat what they want. And sometimes they think what they want and they shouldn't think some of the things they're thinking. All of these things, stress, weakened immune system. Experts estimate that 90% of all people with HIV/AIDS will develop Candida albicans infections. Their immune system is too weak. Then they really got to know about colloidal silver water, and about 8 ounces every single day for anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Then there's something called CVF Be Gone. That is the single strongest formulation for colds, flus, viruses. When I was in Jamaica for 3 years, and people would come to me with a virus, cold flu virus, and they'd say, "Man, I tried this, and I took the colloidal silver water, but I'm still feeling rough. I just can't get over it. It's just kind of lingering." Then I said, "Do you have the CVF Be Gone?" They say, "No, I never heard of it before," because most people haven't. So I'm going to click on it, CVF Be Gone. I'm going to open the link in a new tab so you can see it. Coming over here, the manufacturer is betterhealthherbs.com. I get nothing from the sale of any product, and I invented most of them. But the government objected. So you render to Caesar what is Caesar's, and Caesar said, whatever you've invented, you can't do it. You can't help people with it. Don't pray with them anymore, and don't manufacture anymore, or we will do some very bad things to you. We will take every money that you ever make. And so I complied. So I don't just know I invented the CVF formula. I didn't get anything from it. That's the way it is. But that's what it took to make sure that you could get your hands on it, and that the government wasn't going to restrict and obstruct you from actually getting it. I took the hit, but you get to have the product. I'll do it again.
Well, we definitely appreciate you. You definitely get appreciation for it, for sure.
Thank you very much. So that's one of the formulas. Let's see what's in that formula, because it's an incredible formulation. It's organic, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. This is a formulation that's made with apple cider vinegar. There's no alcohol in this formula. Anytime that you're using, any kind of mushrooms and certain formulations like this one, you don't use alcohol. Alcohol and mushrooms do not go together. So you'll never see me making a mushroom tincture with alcohol. Always apple cider vinegar. So this formulation is made with apple cider vinegar, and it's preserved with glycerin. It has the Manuka honey in it, which is the strongest honey ever tested against a host of various bacteria. It's raw honey. You can find various ones that are collected from certain trees, but and bushes and plant life, but the honeybees that choose manuka, that plant, that's the most strongest active natural antibiotic, a honey that there is. So that's what's in here is manuka honey and wormwood. Wormwood is like powerful against parasites and funguses. Marshmallow root, that's very soothing to the urinary tract and the kidneys. The white oak bark is astringent, and it just kind of it acts as has very strong astringent qualities. Black walnut bark hulls. It's really the hulls of the black walnut bark. And those hulls, they have to be aged. You can, you will harvest them every August. That's when the black walnut trees are, we're dropping all their walnuts. And then you get those black walnuts, and you're using the hull of the black walnut, and it kills parasites on contact. Mullein leaf is one of the greatest herbs. Anybody who has excess mucus, and they say, and I have a lot of people always ask, what's one of the best herbs to dry up my mucus and get rid of the mucus and help me breathe better? Mullein leaf. That's the herb you want. Well, it's in this CVF formula. Skullcap leaf is a sedative, so it's going to help the nervous system to calm down. Well, myrrh gum, well, you know what that is. It's a terrific antibiotic. The three wise men gave to baby Jesus, myrrh gum. So then there's hydrangea. Hydrangea digests and breaks up everything. Garlic root, one of the greatest antibiotics that mankind has ever found. Lobelia leaf, well, the lobelia does a special thing. It guides all the other herbs to go where they're supposed to go and do what they're supposed to do. And it acts as a sedative, it calms things down, and it helps those herbs to do what they're supposed to do. No other herb, I call it the general. It's like the general of the army, and it takes everybody and tells everybody where to go and what to do. And they do it. Then the last herb in there is moringa leaf. That is a powerhouse of energy. A powerhouse of energy. So that's the formulation. Then it's made with structured water. What's structured water? That's alkaline water. That's alkaline water. So that's how it's made. And it's a powerful, the CVF formula is a powerful cold flu virus formula. So I just wanted to go there. Let's get back to the Candida. But the first herb that I mentioned, I mentioned colloidal, not an herb, but a water with submicroscopic particles of silver floating in distilled water, carrying an electric charge. It's positive, it's negatively charged, and disease is positively charged. And the colloidal silver water attaches itself to any virus, fungus, bacteria, penetrates the cell, disables the oxygen in the cell dies, and it does nothing to the body to harm the body. So that's why if you've got Candida albicans, you're probably going to want to drink about 8 ounces a day for 1 to 2, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And if your Candida isn't gone within 2 to 4 weeks, you need to call a good herbalist and be talking out about what you might be able to do about it. But the colloidal silver water in itself is one of the greatest natural healers. I mean, when you look at what colloidal silver water will do, colloidal silver water is incredible. From more than 90 years ago, doctors and health practitioners discovered the life-saving, disinfectant, and germicidal properties of colloidal silver water. Its anecdotal evidence was confirmed its efficacy as a natural antibiotic, antiviral, and antifungal agent. Colloidal silver is a solution of extremely fine submicroscopic particles right around 0.05. Actually, it always breaks off at the same place. Then you got people saying, oh, I got mine are smaller, mine are bigger. Colloidal silver, when you hit it with electricity, it breaks off and it becomes a particle of a size of 0.15 to 0.005 microns. That's tiny. And that's the size of it. And it's pure silver suspended in water. Did I say negative? I meant positive. It's holding a positive charge and disease is holding a negative charge. So there's positive electric charge on each particle. And it's swimming around in there and it's hunting for any virus, fungus, bacteria. And that's the only thing it's trying. That's it. Not doing anything else to anything. And it's cleaning up all the viruses, funguses, and bacteria in the body, penetrating the cell, disabling the oxygen, and the cell dies.
Hey, Grandpa.
Yes.
So that I have to say something too with the silver water, because but I very much appreciate you introducing it to me in the first place. Like 12 years ago. But ever since, it's one of the main things that I suggest and offer to people when they whether they're sick, if they have cuts, bruises, whatever. But one time a few years ago, I got pink eye, and I went to the doctors. They prescribed to me the antibiotics for it and everything. And I came to you and was like, hey, I got pink eye. This is what the doctor told me. And what you told me was to flush my eye out with colloidal silver water, and it should be gone in a couple of days. When the doctor's telling me to see him in like 2 weeks, once it clears up, to check it out. Well, sure as heck, just as you said, I did it 3 times one day, and it was completely gone the next day. And I went back and I went ahead and went to the doctor the day after that, just to show him, like, hey, my grandpa told me to use this colloidal water, and the pink eye that you told me would be gone in 2 weeks to a month, it's gone already. And the doctor was like, oh, I don't know, I've never heard of that. I was like, well, you should probably look into it, because it was gone the next day. And I don't know if the whole ordeal of it was gone the next day, but I had no discomfort. There was no inflammation. There was no redness or anything. I had no symptoms of having it anymore.
Exactly.
So while you're talking about it, I just love to give that testimony to people every chance I get, because it's so powerful, and it is such a good natural way to get rid of things, and it's very safe.
Exactly. And I appreciate your sharing that, because and that a lot of people, they just they've never heard of colloidal silver water, and that's because the government doesn't want you to hear about it. The pharmaceutical industry does not want you to hear about it. It threatens their monopoly on disease, because one of the things that is so incredible about colloidal silver water is that it is a powerful germicidal. Silver is an exceptional metal that is non-toxic. That's very important. All, you know, mercury will kill you. It's toxic. Lead, aluminum, you know, all of these are toxic. Colloidal silver is non-toxic to the human body, but it's lethal to over 650 disease-causing bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, and molds. That's incredible. And while conventional pharmaceutical antibiotics are typically effective against only 6 or 7 types of bacteria, colloidal silver water is lethal to over 650 disease-causing bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, and molds. So
That's amazing.
it really is, and these new strains of bacteria that are out now that the doctors have caused, called MDR, multiple drug resistant. That's what they call it, multiple drug resistant MDR diseases now, bacterias. Well, that have proven, these new strains have proven to be resistant to all pharmaceutical antibiotics, but not to colloidal silver. Because colloidal silver water uses a different germicidal mechanism of deactivation. It's different. So when you can't compare colloidal silver water to a drug, because those drugs can harm you, and colloidal silver water does not. There's only 6 or 7 of those that might help, and the silver water is going to be safe against 650. And it sounds like somebody's mic is open. That's all right. And
sorry, it's me.
Okay.
I wanted to say one more thing. That got Octavia in the background.
Go ahead.
That she says hi, Grandpa.
Hi, I love you.
No, but while we're talking about the Candida albicans, interestingly enough, while I've been working on your website, I came across your apple cider vinegar under the specialized products.
Yes.
And it's one thing I've completely forgotten about for years and years. I used to drink it quite a bit. I used to take a shot every day a few years ago, and then it just gradually unbecame a thing, I guess. But the apple cider vinegar is another natural, very powerful, very safe product that's out there. It's very cheap. I don't like using cheap, but it's very inexpensive.
Yes.
And it's very powerful as well. And my girlfriend has been using it for Candida, and she said it's been helping a lot amongst the other healing properties that it has, besides the different properties that it has, just to help you maintain health.
Yes.
Even if it's not necessarily healing you, it also helps to maintain health.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Paul Bragg makes an apple cider vinegar, and he was one of the pioneers of amino acids and apple cider vinegar and so forth. Yes, and it's another wonder natural remedy is apple cider vinegar, which we could do a whole broadcast just describing all the great things that it can do. But okay, but let's finish up on colloidal silver water, and just know that it can be used topically, orally, directly to the skin. It can be used vaginally, anally. It can be atomized in it or inhaled into the nose or the lungs, and it can be dropped into the eyes. Liquid silver, as well as a new gel formulation called Ultimate Skin Gel, can be applied directly to the skin. A few drops on a Q-tip or Band-Aid may be used to disinfect any wound or sore. It's the greatest thing you ever used on a burn, and especially if you use it on a burn immediately after you burn. I burned my thumb up so bad one time, it just looked disgusting, but I really burned it up bad. So I soaked a towel in colloidal silver water and put it over the burn, and the horrific pain went away immediately. It will do that. If you ever have a burn, soak a cloth in colloidal silver water and you put that cloth over the burn. The pain goes away immediately. If you take the cloth back off, the pain comes back. Put the cloth back on, the pain goes away again. Leave it on for 4 hours, then take it off. No pain ever again. That burn doesn't burn anymore. You can forget about it. I did. I went shopping. I made dinner. I forgot about it. But by the time it was dinner time, the 4 hours was up, and I looked at it, it was terrible looking, but it had no pain. Eventually, it healed all up, and I forgot about it and went to bed and woke up in the morning, forgot I did. I looked at it. I remember when I saw it, it reminded me of what I did. It healed right up. New skin, new thumb. Hey, fantastic, and no pain. So you can splash it in your eyes, get rid of any eye infection. Put it in your ears. Colloidal silver water will get rid of any ear infection. Put it in your nose. It gets rid of any sinus infection. Put it in your mouth. It gets rid of teeth infections, gum infections, cheek infections. And if you have an abscessed tooth, the abscessed tooth will clear up. Just keep holding the water in your mouth. Pretty soon the abscess goes down, goes away, all the pain goes away, then you can go and have it taken care of. And you must take care of your teeth. And if anybody has any kind of a tooth infection and they kiss another person, they're passing the tooth infection onto the other person. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't realize if their husband or their wife has a tooth infection, you kiss them, now you have a tooth infection. So colloidal silver water. And you know what the real deal on colloidal silver water is? The fact that it's wonderful and fantastic, and you should have it around to drink it if you ever have any kind of a fungus, virus, bacterial infection. You want to drink that colloidal silver water, but it's $60 a quart. So about 40 some years ago, maybe longer now, time is flying for me. So I've been doing this over 60 years. But about 40 years ago, I invented this box called a colloidal silver water generator that about the size of a deck of cards. This is what it looks like right here. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Silver. Okay. So no, that ain't what it, this is what I want right here. Okay. Come on, you can do it. There it is. That is a colloidal silver water generator, about the size of a deck of cards, maybe a little longer. And it comes with 2 silver rods that go down into distilled water. Distilled water. Those 2 rods, you can put them down into a 32-ounce glass container. It doesn't like metal. The water does not like metal. It does not like heat. It does not like cold. It doesn't like sunlight. It likes room temperature. So once you make,
excuse me, Grandpa.
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you. Your screen share is not on.
My screen's not on.
That your screen is, but not your screen share. We see you, but not your. We don't
Oh,
see your
let's go over
computer
to
screen.
screen share. We gotta have a screen share. Okay, I'm on my way. Coming over to the, I'm looking for the little panel on the bottom. Where is the little panel on the bottom? I'm looking for it so I can have a screen share. I thought we had a screen share, but let's minimize this and see if we can bring up the screen share here. But I'm looking for the screen share. You know what? It's not going to let me screen share. I can't find my little.
I'll see if I can do it for you real fast. Let's see.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, I see it now. Can I access it? Here we go. Here's screen share.
Yeah, go ahead.
I see it. Oh, and I'm clicking on it. And now we have a screen share. Okay. Hopefully I can
Yep,
move
there we go.
Okay. So now I am going like that. Now we have a screen share and you can see the colloidal silver water generator. So the point I was trying to make was that why would you buy colloidal silver water for $60 a quart when you can make a quart every 10 minutes, maybe 11 or 12 sometimes, and you got to make sure that the water is warm. It makes better colloidal silver water, but if the water's too cold, it's not going to make colloidal silver water. But if it's warm water, you can heat it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be hot. And you can make a quart of colloidal silver water worth $60 every 10 or 11 minutes for about 2 cents. No, maybe, okay, let's say maximum 50 cents maximum. If you bought the most expensive distilled water that you could find in the grocery store, $2 or something. And it's probably going to be more like 99 cents, which would make it a quarter, which would make it 25 cents for water that's worth $60. You can do it every 11 minutes. The device that makes it's called a colloidal silver water generator. Now I invented that and it never breaks. People send it back because it has 3 9-volt batteries. Now, recently, my friend Sharon, my sister in Christ, Sharon, sent me her colloidal silver water generator, and she said, I've got to have it back. You have to fix it. I put new batteries in it. It didn't work. And I said, okay, all right, send it back because it's guaranteed for life. So she sent it back. The batteries that she put in it were bad. So I put new batteries in it, cost me $10. And all I did, it took 5 minutes. I screwed the lid off of it, put in 3 9-volt batteries and put the lid back on it. And bam, the light was nice and strong. And I sent it back to her. I said, hey, all it needed was batteries. She said, I put new batteries in it. And I said, well, those new batteries weren't any good. So I put some really good ones in there. So anyway, because there's nothing to break. It's guaranteed for life. The only thing, it's like a flashlight. In other words, there's a little light on the front. And the only reason the little light is on the front is so you can tell when you bang the 2 silver rods together, the light comes on to tell you, don't bang the silver rods together. and because that tells you the strength of your batteries. If you bang the silver rods together and the light comes on and it's bright, you have strong batteries. If the light is weak, you need to change the batteries. That's it. That's the whole deal. And this box comes put together all ready to go with the silver rods. And in minutes. You can just pour a quart of distilled water or a whole gallon. You can make a gallon every 40 minutes worth $240. And it costs you, it's $99.99, that's $100. There's a special discount code called GOCC. That's when you go to checkout and it says it's $99.99, and it said, do you have a coupon? And you put in GOCC, like George, Oscar, Charles, GOCC, also for Gathering of Christ Church. And that takes 20%. So now $100, now it costs $80. And it's never going to break. Just change the batteries every few years. The silver rods, they're going to get skinny on down there. Finally, they're going to get skinny. And then you flip them over end to end and go another 3 or 4 years. So they're going to be good for like 3, 4, 5, 6. If you use it every day, it'll last you 3 years, and you flip the rods over and you go for 6 years. Otherwise, you might use it for 10, 20 years and you have the same silver wires. So
that's another. So excuse me, Grandpa. So that's another thing as well that I'd like to say about the silver water and because with my generator, I've had my generator for about 10 years, and I've switched the battery maybe 4 or 5 times, and I've never had to get new rods. I still and my rods are roughly about 3 inches now. They started out at 6 inches. My rods are roughly about 3 inches now, and I'm still going off of my original rods that I bought 10 years ago.
Wow. Well, there you go.
I don't use it every single day, but we do use it like throughout the winter time, pretty much all winter.
Exactly. And that's with heavy use. So the thing about that little box, it's so cool. It's portable. You take it with you when you travel, and you go and you buy some water at the market. You bring the water home, put it on the counter, put your silver rods down there, and about 5 minutes for a quart of water, and it sterilizes the water. No virus, no fungus, no bacteria can be in that water. Then you can drink that water, and it's medicine water when you're traveling. And it's one of the things that keeps you from having viruses, funguses, and bacteria. It's something that that our government should find out about and use, but they're too busy not doing that. They're too busy saying the only thing for a virus is a vaccination, a shot. And if you don't get one, you lose your job, or you won't be able to buy food anymore. They threaten you with that kind of stuff. That's disgusting. And they turn their back on things like colloidal silver water, and they know it's there, but they will, and it will get rid of pneumonia in 72 hours. You atomize it into the air and get people with pneumonia or breathing difficulty. And you get them to breathe that, and it gets rid of any funguses, virus, bacteria in their lungs. Can you imagine how valuable that is? That's why every home should have one of these generators. Go ahead.
And then speaking of all that, another one of my favorite products is the oral care refresh rinse.
Oh yeah.
If you're going for oral hygiene, there's silver water in it, and it's sweetened with xylitol, and it is very powerful.
Oh yeah, that oral care refresh, people love it. They love the oral care refresh. Let's take a look at that, okay? Because that's another unique product. I invented it, but again, I don't get anything from it. Oral care, oral care.
Excuse me, Dr. Spearman.
Yes, go ahead.
I have a quick question about the colloidal silver water. So is it necessary to like boil the water? It just has to be at room temperature and in the glass jar. I mean, that's the way I was doing it before.
Right. It doesn't have to be boiled. If the room is cold and it's cold outside and the water's and you put your hand on the glass and the glass is cold, you want to warm it up, because if it's cold, you can't make it will not make a batch of colloidal silver water unless you put a lot of salt in it, and I don't want to put a lot of salt in there. So I just warm it up to where it's warm if it's cold. Otherwise, if it's room temperature and it's a summer day, well, no problem. And you just put it on the counter and make it, and it's great. But one of the things that you can make with it is oral care refresh rinse. This oral care refresh rinse is made with xylitol. The xylitol, it hardens your teeth, hardens the enamel of the tooth, hardens the whole tooth. It remineralizes the tooth. And it's sweeter than sugar. And it looks like sugar and it tastes like sugar, and there's no sugar in it. That's your sugar. That's one of the safest sugar replacements, and it's good for your teeth. It remineralizes your teeth. Then the second ingredient in the oral care refresh, brush and rinse, is colloidal silver water. So it's made with colloidal silver water. You're taking xylitol, a little bit of bee pollen, peppermint oil, bee propolis, bloodroot, black walnut hulls, clove oil. That is the greatest, freshest mouth and strongest teeth that you could possibly have using that formulation called oral care brush and rinse. Is that it? Oral care refresh rinse. Oral care refresh rinse. That's it. And you get a bottle of that, and you just put some in your mouth and you brush your teeth with it. Maybe you could use a little baking soda if you want as an abrasive. Bingo. You gotta always brush in little circles, and that will leave the freshest, cleanest, strongest teeth, and it's a natural antibiotic to brush your teeth with.
And unlike Listerine and half of these toothpastes out there, it's not going to kill you if you swallow it.
That's true. And if you do swallow, and kids do swallow it, harmless, totally harmless. Yes, it's incredible. So that's what oral care refresh is, and it's made with colloidal silver water. And you know now about the colloidal silver water generator, so that you save money, and you buy the box, make your own, and you make it for everybody. So when it comes, be like Gary, who my grandson-in-law, who he makes this colloidal silver water, and he uses the oral care refresh brush and rinse, and it tastes fantastic. I mean, you got a bright, shiny, powerful teeth that are stronger than ever before, and you're using your colloidal silver water generator that never breaks and never wears out. But every maybe 3-4 years, something like that, if you're using it all the time, you're going to have to take 4 screws out, take the lid off, and lift the little batteries out, and take the 3 9-volt batteries out and clip 3 9-volt batteries back in it, put the lid back on, boom, that's it. That's all there is to it. And it does come all put together and ready to go out of the box when you order it. And again, it's with the GOCC discount code, instead of $100, that's $80, and it's worth every penny. It's one of those things you should have in your home. It will get rid of over 650 virus, fungus, and bacteria that they know of. That's it. And where are we at here? So
Uh,
let's get
Real quick on the wrap up with it.
I'm sorry, go
It
ahead.
also works really good for mold. Like if you get like mold on the walls or like mold on the carpet. Because I mean, I live in Oregon, so everything gets moldy during the wintertime.
Ah, yes,
And
spraying
And
it.
it,
Yeah,
yep, it works really good.
spraying on mold. Absolutely.
We
So
use it
now
for
we're
we
getting,
use it for pretty much everything.
what did you say?
So we use it for pretty much everything, whether it's in our body or whether it's the bacteria, mold on the wall or the counters, the carpet.
Exactly, because if you spray your counters
hard.
with it, if there's any virus, fungus, bacteria on your counters, it'll disinfect your counters. Exactly. So now we've talked about Candida albicans. We've talked about colloidal silver water, which is one of the greatest things you can learn about. We talked about one of the most powerful herbal virus fighters, CVF be gone. We talked about ant-B, which is now called anti-B, number 1018, because it's got the golden seal, echinacea, pokeroot, and cayenne, which is a fantastic antibiotic. But now let's learn about the probiotics, the friendly bacteria in your body that is trying to operate with a little bit of this fungus in the body. That's natural. It just keeps that antagonizes the friendly bacteria to go to work and do their job. But if it's overwhelmed with too much sugar, too much alcohol, too much of a bad diet, too much stress, then you need a natural antibiotic, a probiotic. That's the natural bacteria in your tummy. You need it. Then you need a nice, powerful amount of it. It's one of the greatest things you can do for your to increase your immune system, to increase your health, is to make sure that you're getting, and especially if you have Candida albicans, you need a probiotic. And here is one that's 10 different strains, and it's 50 billion strength, and I think it's out of stock right now. The last time I checked with Health and Herbs. So go to your favorite health food store where you get the best discount, and find a probiotic that has a minimum 10 separate strains, 50 billion strength, and take one in the morning and one at night for about a week or two maximum is all you have to do that. Because then you got all the friendly bacteria restored in your body, no matter if you used to have too much sugar, too much alcohol, too much stress that's breaking you down and causing Candida. And after a week or two, and you don't have Candida anymore, because you learned about the colloidal silver water, you learned about the CVF, you learned about the ant-B, and you put back all of the friendly bacteria that you need in your digestive tract. One in the morning, one at night, with the evening meal, until you don't have Candida. Then just one a day to keep the powerful digestion that the probiotics will give you. That's it. Then if you still were prone to it, so those are the three things. If I was going to build a kit, I'd make sure you had a colloidal silver water generator, and if you already had one, I'd have a kit with the generator and a kit without the generator, and it would have the colloidal silver water. It would have the CVF be gone, about a 2-ounce bottle of that, and about a 2-ounce bottle of ant-B. 1 ounce would do it, but 2 ounces would be great, because then I have some for later for the next time, because you only going to need about half of it. So that's what my kit would contain: the generator, the CVF be gone, and the ant-B, and the probiotics you could pick up locally on discount, I hope. And you know that if you still needed more help, kombucha mushroom is loaded with probiotics. It's not even a mushroom. It's a bacteria. And it's a fermented bacteria and yeast, which is loaded with detoxification, help for the digestion, increasing your energies. There's a complete report on it here that you can look up all the wonderful things that it does, but that would be a wonderful thing for you to be using is kombucha mushroom, and you can buy it in most health food stores and most supermarkets these days, kombucha mushroom. And that's wonderful. One thing that corrects the sugar, the over sugaring that causes Candida is Gymnema sylvestre, which is also excellent for diabetes. The reason why it's also been known for the fact that it's a tropical vine and known as cow plant. It's another name for it. But in a study published in 2013 in the medical journal PLOS 1, Gymnema sylvestre not only was effective against Candida, but stopped the transition to hyphal form by converting the fungus back into simple yeast cells, thereby demonstrating it could prevent and even reverse invasive candidiasis, which is another plus for Gymnema. Gymnema sylvestre, herbal product number 3454. Gymnema sylvestre 3454 is incredible to help with diabetes and to reverse Candida albicans. It was effective when tested against Aspergillus, another potentially dangerous fungal pathogen, while remaining completely non-toxic to human cells. In other words, Gymnema sylvestre doesn't harm you and is powerful against one of the most dangerous fungal pathogens known as Aspergillus. Oregano oil is another thing that will get rid of Candida albicans and funguses, viruses, bacteria. The phenols in oregano oil are highly concentrated and extremely effective in fighting bacterial infections, fungal infections, and Candida overgrowth. Wild organic oregano oil is known to be especially effective in fighting conditions like Candida. And the wild oregano oil, the way to use it would be 3 to 7 drops in a teaspoon or a tablespoon of olive oil. Boom, and down it goes. That's the way to use oregano oil. Dilute 3 to 7 drops. If you've never used things before, always start with the low dose. Make sure it agrees with you, especially if you're sensitive to anything. Always start and underdose yourself and then work your way into what the dose that works for you. That's how to use these things. Oregano oil. And then there's olive leaf extract. There's another biblical herb, olive leaf extract. The oleuropein in olive leaf extract is used by the body to fight fungal infections caused by Candida overgrowth. It's a high potency, standardized olive leaf extract can obliterate Candida quite effectively. So it's olive leaf extract, very powerful against Candida, So it's another one that could be used. See, you don't have to use all of these things, but it's nice to know you have so many things that you know how to overwhelm a problem that is overwhelming. So another one that's powerful is Pau-de-Arco bark. It destroys fungus. Pau-de-Arco bark. It's a blood cleaner. In South America, Brazil, Paraguay, Argentina, that's where it comes from. And it's the inner bark of a tree. Tibua. And this bark, it's bitter. So when I brought it into the USA about 40, 50 years ago, people didn't want it. It's too bitter, I don't want it. Anything bitter is good for the liver. And it was bitter and it's good for the liver. It cleans the blood and cleans up the liver. So what I did was I put stevia, which now sweetened it up. Then I took natural orange, and cinnamon, and I put all those things in there, and it made it taste wonderful when you make a tea out of it. And everybody loves everybody loves it. And I named it Daily Health Tea. Perfect as a blood cleaner. And of course, in America, you can't say it's a cancer fighter, but that's what they use it for in South America. But you're not supposed to say what it's good for in South America. See, since the advent of the medical monopoly of the pharmaceutical industry and the medical doctors, before that, you could say what things were actually good for. But as soon as we had the FDA, they're all for protecting the right of the medical monopoly and discouraging you from finding out about things like these natural remedies. And they do it every day. They do it blatantly, callously. And garlic, odorless garlic pills, eating garlic, that's one of the greatest antifungal agents that there is. It's a natural, powerful antibacterial food. Garlic. The Candida cannot survive when garlic is present. So consistency is the key. Garlic can simply be added to your normal meals, but most find it inconvenient. Most find it more convenient to use and less odorous to find odorless garlic capsules. But then there are a lot of people who don't want capsules. So at that point, you crush garlic in olive oil and make your own oil if you want oil. But it's not going to be odorless. And that's the only way it really comes is in a capsule. And a lot of people don't want the capsules because they don't want gel capsules. A couple more here, and we just about got this, and that is neem. Neem is an Ayurvedic medicine. Neem is known for its stimulating the immune system and fighting infections and fungal overgrowth. That's why neem is so popular. It's also a potent detoxifier. Neem oil can also be applied topically if you have any kind of a fungal infection or any kind of an infection. Neem. And again, raw apple cider vinegar. Here's that raw apple cider vinegar. Not quite an herb, but it is an herb. And that is raw apple cider vinegar. But it's so effective, you can't leave it off this list. Apple cider vinegar balances the pH level of your body. Very important, because the pH level, when it's out of balance and you're too acid, that feeds cancer. So apple cider vinegar helps to balance out the pH level of your body. And it can prevent harmful pathogens like Candida from growing out of control. Echinacea, we already mentioned it, how it's one of the greatest natural anti-candida herbs and immune system herbs is echinacea. We already talked about black walnut hulls, but let us not leave out organic, unrefined coconut oil. That is in your kitchen. You must be cooking with coconut oil and using olive oil and trying not, maybe not cooking with it so much, but if it's a low heat, okay. High heat coconut oil. One of the greatest oils ever found on earth is coconut oil. And it fights Candida albicans. It's antibacterial. It's a medium chain oil. That these medium chain fatty acids are in coconut oil. It will fight Candida. And these fatty acids like caprylic acid and lauric acid are potent and antifungal agents. And you can rub it on the coconut oil on your feet, on your hands, in your hair, on your face. Coconut oil, that stuff is great. So just know that that's it for Candida. If you know about all these things, you couldn't have Candida. And again, a kit, well, a kit would have things like colloidal silver water or colloidal silver water generator, the CVF be gone, the ant B would be in there. You might also have some ant B in there, or you might have oregano oil or olive leaf extract. So yeah, neem oil, those kinds of things are all going to be the kinds of things that would go in a kit. That's it. Let's get to Prophet Elijah out there in Pike Road, Alabama. And I don't see Prophet Elijah here. Ooh, I don't see Prophet Elijah in the room. Oh, let's see if I can. There he is. I see him now. And I'm gonna ask him to unmute his microphone. So I did ask him to unmute it. Please unmute your microphone, Prophet Elijah. Okay.
It's unmuted.
He did. It is unmuted. And folks, Prophet Elijah out there in Pike Road, Alabama, at the Word of Life Ministry, his telephone number. Now you got to get your pen ready because people are always asking me for Prophet Elijah's telephone number. They say, I want to pray with him. And I don't blame you. I want to pray with him too. And I have. And matter of fact, every Thursday I get to pray with him. You can too. You can call him up 334-868-3881. That's 334-868-3881. And Prophet Elijah, are you there, sir? He said he was. Oh, he went. Oh, I'm going to give you my telephone number in that case. 503-362-5899. My telephone number is 503-362-5899. Oh, by the way, the telephone number for Better Health Herbs. They've got a new person that's going to be answering their phones next Monday. So now you're going to be able to call them. We're just order online only, and you couldn't call them. But now you can call them 503-791. No, wait, that's not right. It's 541-791-8400. The telephone number for Better Health Herbs. On Monday, you can start calling in your orders if you needed to. 541-791-8400. And my email address is the same as the website, herbalhealthreview.com. My name in front of it, Truman, Truman, at herbalhealthreview.com. Let's get over to Prophet Elijah and get that mic unmuted again one more time and get that closing prayer. And,
I'm here.
and you are there. Thank you so much, Prophet Elijah. And could we please have a closing prayer?
Yes, sir. So death, tell me, where is your victory? Tell me, death, where is your sting? 1 Corinthians 15:55. Most High God, we come to you in both humble faith and in prayer. We come and lay before your feet our every burden. Hear our cry as we cry out to you. Save us and strengthen us. Be our shelter, our mighty fortress, and comfort in times of sorrow, our peace in time of pain and distress. Show us how to stand firmly in these troubling times. Keep us safe and secure in the palm of your mighty hand. Be our protection from the assaults and attack from the enemy. Father, when our spirit grows weary, let your word and spirit revive us again. Do not allow our faith and trust in you to be put to shame. Keep us strong. Guide us, lead us, take away our affliction and pain. We trust through every danger, and deliver us until we are delivered from death, our last enemy. Heavenly Father, it is written in Psalms 91 and Matthew 6 that you are our deliverer. Thank you that you will deliver us from any medical problem according to your will and our will. Give us total freedom, liberty, and salvation from all these things. So be it. Dr. Truman, the Spirit of the Most High God will rest upon you, the Spirit of extraordinary wisdom, the Spirit of perfect understanding, the Spirit of wise strategy, the Spirit of mighty power, the Spirit of revelation, and the Spirit of fear of the Most High. The wealth of the sinner finds its way into your hands, for you are righteous. To you it was laid up. For to the person who pleases the Most High God, he gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy. But to the sinner, he gives the works of gathering up, that he may give to the one who pleases him. He has said that he will give you the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that you may know that it is he, the Most High God, who calls you by your name. Selah, so be it. Were you blessed by Discovery and Health Ministries? If so, tell someone you know who may be blessed also. Bless Dr. Burris. In return, pray about sowing into this ministry so that Dr. Burris may be able to keep offering this information freely like he did this evening to many. Be ever so kind to let Dr. Burris know that his time is not used in vain. Show him your appreciation for all that he does, whether it is the word or financial support. A workman is worthy of his hire, which is 2 hours of his time each week. Bless him, and you shall be blessed in return. So be it.
So be it. All praises to the Most High. So be it. Amen. Thank you so much, Prophet Elijah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on YouTube, on Zoom. And next week, we'll try to get dial pad meetings going again. It was not working today, but we're going to try to add them in again next week. But just
Thank you,
remember,
Dr. Truman. All
Yes.
praise to the Most High. Thank you so much.
all praises to the Most High, sister. All praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters. Let us praise the Most High together. Please unmute your microphone and let us praise the Most High together. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. And so be it.
And so be it.
So be it.